everybody, welcome back. We've just got a very quick video for today, just a short little announcement here to show all of you that I do have my Patreon up and running now. It's definitely still a work in progress, so we're a little bit fluid with how it's going to be set up, what the different tiers are, pricing, benefits, all that jazz. I went ahead and threw some default things here together just to kind of get a wide range of people who want to donate a lot a month, people who just want to be able to be a part of a more inclusive community. I guess it'd be a more exclusive community, not inclusive, but a smaller community. They can get a little bit higher priority, maybe a little more attention, a little more one-on-one interaction. If that's the kind of thing you're looking for, Patreon's probably going to be where you want to go to do that. Do my best to keep up with YouTube's comments, responding, answering emails that come in. I do a pretty good job of that. All of that type of stuff, any Patreon member would be a higher priority than just standard YouTube interaction. Not that I'm just going to completely cut off and ignore everything on YouTube. But if I have two people sending me code that they want me to take a look at and review and kind of troubleshoot for them, I only got so many hours in a day, so if it comes down to one or the other, the person that's in the Patreon community would get priority access there. But that's just kind of how it's going to have to be set up going forward as we get bigger and bigger. I'm not going to be able to respond to every email or every comment. I can now. I can for the foreseeable future. But if it starts to get a big enough community here on YouTube, then, that's a whole lot of time that I just don't have. So, going to the Patreon, the base level is $5 a month. That will get you Patreon access, put you on that priority list. You will get any content that I put out on Patreon that may not go to YouTube. I know I haven't been the best with keeping up with my blogs, but any sort of like shorter, more informal updates, in text form or even video form that don't have the chops to make it onto the YouTube channel, it's not in-depth enough to warrant a blog post, just smaller things like that will be going on Patreon to get you a little more kind of like behind the scenes type access, I guess. Everybody who joins the Patreon, regardless of what level you join at, you'll get a shout out on every video, kind of like credits roll at the end of the movie. Thanking all of the Patreon supporters and your tier. So the higher tier you are, you get that shout out of that tier. Thanking everybody down the list though. And I have set up a Discord community for Patreon access. As you can see, it is empty now because we have no Patreons, because we just set it out there. But I have set up different roles for every tier in the Patreon, so don't worry if you want to shell out the big bucks and donate $100 a month or whatever. Everybody's gonna know in the Discord, everyone's gonna know on the YouTube videos. You will be recognized for your contributions, whatever that level of contribution may be. And at this point in time, the Discord is going to stay private to the Patreon community. We may end up opening up and making it public, and then all of the Patreon members will have their set roles to distinguish them within that community as well. And the Discord is going to be the best place for interaction with me. YouTube comments are great. I love them. Please don't stop leaving them. But the Discord would be much more informal, kind of one-on-one direct questioning. Obviously, again, so many hours in the day. But that will give you guys a place to interact with each other too. I know there's been a couple instances in the YouTube comments, people responding to questions before I have a chance to get to it, and that's phenomenal. I would love to build a bigger community where everybody is working together collaboratively, trying to figure all this stuff out and helping each other out when I don't have time to do so. That would be perfect. That's the dream here. Just building that community and having everybody working together on it. And again, every member level in Patreon gets Discord access. So bumping up to starter, that's going to be $10 a month. That's going to get you everything from the previous tier, plus early access to any content I'm releasing, whether it's a YouTube video, a blog post, or if they're partnered, one-on-one together. The moment I'm done with it, before I start writing out the descriptions on YouTube, the tags, getting the blog post set up, because it takes time to upload it to YouTube and to fill all that out and then schedule the video release. The moment I'm done with it, it goes on Patreon. You get your first crack at it, figure it out before it goes live on YouTube. And Patreon only voting power, I started at the $10 tier. That's something that might get bumped down to the $5, just kind of depending on how that distribution plays out. But But that's going to be for things like Q&As. I'd like to start doing monthly Q&As, maybe even weekly Q&As for the higher tiers. Updates, kind of, this is what we've done. These are the things I'm looking at to do next. What do you guys think about it? Like, what's your priority? What would you like to see done next? That type voting power to kind of influence the direction of the channel is going to be capped at the $10 one for now. That's something where I wanted it to be on everybody at the 5. Thinking down the road long term, if we get a big enough Patreon community, I would like that to be at the $10 level, because I'd want the people that are more invested in it to have not more of a say, but kind of. And I'd rather keep it from the lower level now and potentially grant it later than to start them with it and then take it away, because that seems bad in my mind. I don't know. Let me know if you disagree with that. But that's how I feel right now. And then, yeah, monthly Q&As, that's going to be the other one. So I am going to start doing monthly Q&As if there's interest, if anyone actually joins the Patreon. That's going to be and that could be anything. That could be YouTube channel related, blog related, Patreon related. That could be personal. That could be professional. That could be anything. Whatever you guys are interested in hearing from me in a Q&A format, I'm more than happy to answer for you. Jumping up to the next tier is going to be All-Star. That's going to be $25 a month. It's going to be everything from the starter level plus monthly live streams. And the Q&As may be live streams, so that's something that could kind of be interchangeable, kind of very similar type access. And like I said, we're still very fluid and flexible at this point. So this is just kind of first thought, get it out there, and we'll update it and alter it as needed as we go. But the monthly live streams, I was thinking, would be much more informal. They could be whatever you guys want. They could be just hanging out, chatting, responding to questions in chat. It could be a Q&A. If that's what everybody wants, you want more and more Q&As, then there could be more Q&As. I would like it to be more informal, just kind of hanging out, thinking like somebody on a Twitch stream or something, just relaxing and interacting with you guys. And if you guys want to have me be working on code while you do that, if you want to see some like behind the scenes, how I get things done, whatever it is, I just think that would be a fun thing to do, to kind of get everyone together on the same page at the same time and interacting with each other. Full library access. I don't really know what that is. That was the default one that showed up from Patreon, so that might go away, and that'll probably drop down to here if it stays. Basically, anything that I put up, I've put out, you would have access to regardless of when you join the Patreon, I believe that is. Patron-only voting power again. Monthly live streams, varied topics. I guess that's there twice. Like I said, we're flexible. Q&As, shout-outs, Discord. Yep. MVP, $50 a month. So this is getting up there if you are very committed, you have the means, and you want to be a big ticket supporter of the channel here. For $50 a month, you get everything from the previous tiers, and I will provide weekly updates on content behind the scenes work. This could be a weekly live stream, it could be a pre-recorded video, it could be a written update. It will be pretty informal, but that's where you'll see like week to week exactly, not just kind of big picture where we're going, but like, what have I done this week? What am I working on next week? What are we going to put out? What are we not putting out? Just a much more granular level of what's going on up here and over here, rather than what I'm done with and what I've published. And I do start to mention here, the benefits for this tier are much more flexible. I don't know what somebody who wants to be that included in the channel would want from this level of support. So I'm open to suggestions. If I have 3 people that want to join this tier and they're like, hey, we would really like to see this for this X dollar amount we're putting in, I'm open to making things work within reason. And I should point out, no level of the Patreon gives you control of anything that goes on with the channel. You can get voting power. If you're involved, obviously, I weight your opinion a little bit higher, but at the end of the day, I'm running the show here, and I'm going to do what I want to do, even if you disagree with it. So don't feel like you're going to chip in $50 a month, and then you're going to get to tell me what videos to make, because that's not necessarily the case. If our visions line up, and I agree with you, and you might sway me a little bit one way or the other, perfectly normal. That's very likely to happen. And bumping up to the final one, $100 a month. The only thing I could think of that would add enough value to make that possibly worth it was, on top of the weekly updates and everything else, is a monthly specific one-on-one chat, like scheduled time, half an hour, 2 hours, like whatever we need to make it be to make it valuable and functional, so that I have the time to do it and it's something that you find valuable. And that, again, could be anything, just like the live stream, just like the Q&A. That could be a phone call, that could be a video chat, that could be a separate channel in the Discord that for just 2 people at a time to be in, that I can send you a password for. And it could be personal, it could be professional, it could be about the channel, not about the channel, about coding, not about coding. We could just shoot the shit. Whatever it is that you are interested in, we can make happen. So that's it for the Patreon. It's going to be patreon.com/NixNiche. I'll have links in the description, and I will have links. I'm going to work on getting the previous videos updated, the descriptions with links, and then every video going forward you'll be able to find down in the description. I'll probably pin a comment to this video too, just since it's the first time we're mentioning it. If anybody has any questions about these or specifics on the different tiers or anything like that, feel free to drop me a comment below the video, or shoot me an email if you have something a little more specific you don't want to be in a YouTube comment. It's perfectly fine. But yep, that's all we've got for this video. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.